Browns radio analyst Nathan Zegura what he's expecting from the starters in the final preseason game tomorrow.
I definitely like, for example, I think that there are certain guys, like a Batonio and a Myles Garrett, you definitely don't need to see out there. Denzel Ward, since he's dealing with an injury, I wouldn't expect to see anybody who's dealing with anything. So Denzel, maybe Greg Newsome, said Tillman's a little banged up, so I wouldn't expect to see those guys. But I think you'll see everybody else, and I think that I think the goal will be to just get good work. So I think it's a possibility they could play up to 25 snaps, as we've heard Kevin Stefanski say last night on the Kevin Stefanski show. That's maybe the ceiling, but I think if they go out there and execute really well on the opening drive, maybe it's just the opening drive. I don't think that they're really going to force this. Now, the Rams aren't going to play anybody, so I'm hoping that we go out there and look very efficient and march right down the field, and then we can have good vibes going into the opener.
So a couple of things, G. Bush. Obviously, Rams not playing their starters, so keep that there. But what do you want to see from the starters that play? What do you need to see to feel pretty good? I mean, I've seen the Bengals 2 preseason games, and their defense is not good. It's bad.
Yeah, the defense don't look good. I look at this game, and I want to see them. I want touchdowns, man. This is a year where, we were told that they're going to ramp it up a little bit. I want to see guys out there. Listen, I don't think this year we have enough quality grade A names that don't need to play in this game. He mentioned the ones that I wouldn't play. All right, so you got the Batonio, yeah. The Myles Garrett, sure. Denzel Ward, okay. In that way, maybe Wyatt Teller, okay. But the rest of y'all got to play. I'm sorry, rest of y'all, no. Oh, I'm gonna need to see y'all get some work, because the worst thing that we can have happen is get back. And you saw how the team looked last year. We got out to that game against the Cowboys, and it was nasty work. It was guys with, penalties and errant throws, and it was so nasty that it looked like, oh, this was the first preseason. And at some point in time, we got to get to a point where, hey, Kansas City playing the people, Cincinnati, I saw Joe Burrow scrambling around, running backwards, playing hard. At some point in time, we are going to have to get to a point where we're not using the first 4 games as preseason games. So to tell me that this has been different, and to tell me that they got their work in during practice, which they've been preaching to us, we're going to get our work in at the inter-squad practices or the scrimmages with the Eagles and the Panthers. We're going to get our work in on, okay, well, now, guess what? I want to see touchdowns. I want to see no false starts. I don't want to see jumping off sides. I want to see the defense look dominant. I want 3 and outs. I want a couple of turnovers. I want it to look like the Cleveland Browns are playing their ones and they're not playing their ones. That's what it's supposed to look like. So that's the level of execution and clean football that I'm looking for, because this is what you're ramping up to. And by the way, we have to get that way because the other teams have margins for error. Yep. We don't. We can't miss field goals. We can't miss assignments. We can't have motion penalties after you get a 3rd and 6 conversion. We can't have missed tackles. We can't have none of that. So I want to see the level of crispness, and I want to see guys locked in and focused, and not too many people running around laughing on the sidelines. If this is dress rehearsal, get your mind together, because that's what I want to see.